This is the Impressions Xchange podcast.
Impressions Xchange podcast,
where all topics impacting the graphic imaging and printing industry are addressed via in-depth news coverage, analysis, and timely interviews.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Impressions Xchange podcast. I'm Mark Michelson, Editor-in-Chief of Printing Impressions. Last week, HP PageWide Industrial made a major announcement with the official launch of the PageWide Advantage 2200 inkjet web press that uses HP Brilliant inks. I had the opportunity to attend a pre-launch press and analyst briefing at HP's massive Corvallis, Oregon facility shortly before the launch to see the press operating and tour HP's facility there. You too will be able to see the Advantage 2200 press running live during the upcoming PRINTING United Expo in Las Vegas, October 19th to 21st. Two PageWide Industrial executives have joined me today to discuss the new Advantage press platform, which some industry pundits are already describing as being game-changing and revolutionary. They include Annette Friskopp, Global Head and General Manager of PageWide Industrial, and Yale Goldis, Director of Strategy, Commercial Products and Solutions. Hi, it's my real pleasure to have Annette Friskopp and Yale Goldis from HP PageWide Industrial with me today. And, you know, last week was a really exciting time for PageWide Industrial. You announced a completely new web press platform, the PageWide Advantage 2200 inkjet press platform. And we had a pre-press and media briefing, and you know, you described it as a game changer for the commercial printing, the direct mail, and the publishing applications. What do you think kind of makes that a game changer?
Well, great question, Mark. Thank you for asking. It was actually the analyst that got a sneak peek at the press in Corvallis, Oregon, that called it a game changer. I think we were a little too humble to label it that ourselves, but that's the feedback that we've received, and we're just ecstatic because it's taken years of amazing innovation to get to this point today. So if I'd say, what did they learn that came to that moniker as a game changer, I would have to say we've really listened to our current customers, and they've been giving us feedback. And while our workhorse fleet, our T200 platform is just an absolute workhorse, and the first unit that we installed back in 2009 is still in full production today and is a workhorse earning money for our customers today. But yet there were improvements, and improvements in order to go to better quality, faster speeds with thicker paper stack. Those are some of the key things I think that we were called a game changer, but it really is more broad than that. As we'll talk through today, the system is very flexible, so it's helping our customers solve problems that help them grow to meet their production needs, but also to expand into additional applications.
You know, we've been in the industry for more than a decade, and in that time, we really listened to our customers. We've seen what our customers have been printing. We talk with them about where they want to go. And so what we've done is really design a machine that can produce a wide variety of work. People don't know some people don't know what they're going to be producing 3 years, 5 years from now. So we really want that flexibility in this machine, along with the quality and the productivity that allow our customers to grow profitably with this device. And so while the press is meeting those expectations, the engineering team went a step further, right, to simplify how this work is produced, right? Press is a single engine duplex. That means it's printing on both sides of the page in one machine, but it goes one step further. It's printing on both sides of the page with one print bar. It's roughly a 40-inch print bar, and it's printing side one on one side and side two on the other side. And that reduces the number of parts that the machine has, and so certainly relative to a machine that's where you need one unit for simplex and a second one for duplex. It's also, the machine is easier to use with panels that'll slide away to allow for access into the press. The entire press arch opens up, so the operator can get in if needed for maintenance. And it's modular, so it fits through doorways, into freight elevators, down hallways. And so in addition to being a performant press, the press also has some really innovative designs around how it's come together in that single engine duplex configuration.
We also see that the industry is going through a huge transformation. We all know paper prices are going up, postage costs are going up, labor costs are going up, energy costs are going up. Our customers are getting hit with a lot of cost pressure. One of those things is also the limitation of paper is causing customers to be very creative and look at using different papers that perhaps they've never worked with before. So the request for a flexible system was key in our design concepts. Also, labor being very hard to find, especially skilled labor to run old analog machines, was a very key design concept for us to design a system that's really fun to run and easy to run. And that is helping our customers attract new talent. So we took all of those inputs, all of those industry dynamics, and we put it into our design concept for this new Advantage 2200. So we're going after high volume production, inkjet printing, and some would say it's an inflection point. So I think when they say it's a game changer, I think it's an inflection point that we're going to be able to help our customers grab more of that offset business and run it in a more efficient, more economical, and flexible way.
And you mentioned that the press is easy to adopt and operate. What benefits does that modularity have for the customer that installs it?
Yeah, so in terms of the modularity, we designed the press. That's one of the innovative parts of the press design, that a customer could start with a base configuration, so with one dryer, and then they could add more capability as their business grows. Right, so that base design is really a starting point. It's an easy entry point. It's space efficient for our customers. And then as they find that they're producing more work, they need more productivity, they want to move into more coated stocks, then they could add a second dryer and a passive cooling module. And if they need even more productivity or even thicker coated stocks, then they can upgrade to that 3 dryer zone configuration with active cooling, and then have the full capability available for the press. The cooling, I talk about passive and active cooling, just that there's air cooling in the passive and there's active cooling with water for that highest configuration. And really what we'll do is we'll work with our customers to find the best configuration for them.
Right. In the drying aspect of the press is really a key component and, important for the modularity. Can you describe some of the benefits that the HP high efficiency drying capabilities have for the Advantage 2200?
Yes, Mark. The drying is another innovation on this press, and certainly as we see energy costs going up, we want to design a technology, a dryer that would be both performant and cost effective. The team looked at a lot of different ways to dry the paper and landed on this high efficiency drying approach. And in that approach, it relies on a lot of airflow to move the moisture away from the paper. And it uses drying elements, heater elements that are close to where the paper is, so there aren't energy losses from heating farther away from where that heat is needed on the paper. All of that in a system where 80% of that air can be recirculated inside the machine. And so the result is a lower energy cost per page for our customers.
Right. Well, with rising energy costs occurring, throughout the country, I mean, that's a major benefit. Also, in seeing the press, something that's very different about it, maybe from some of your other page-wide presses, is its single print arch design. And, one of the benefits of that design is the press takes up a much smaller footprint. What advantages do you think that smaller footprint provides to an HP customer?
Well, Mark, it's interesting you say that. Size matters in terms of where customers want to put their press. We have some customers that want to bring it in through an existing door, through an existing elevator, through and maybe even onto a second floor. And that simply wasn't possible with the prior generation of press. So the flexibility of this is uniquely opening up literal space because of the less footprint. But the smaller footprint also means that there's fewer parts in this machine, and so the serviceability as well as the flexibility is giving us a very lighter. This lighter footprint means fewer things to maintain as well as fewer things to power. So we're going to be getting energy efficiencies as well.
Yeah, and I'd add that the floor space for customers is always a premium. And so we really look to keep the press length down, especially as customers want to add finishing equipment to the end of the press, and then that can get pretty long. And so we want to make sure that there's enough space available for customers to install the machine. But also, our customers measure themselves on revenue, or some do measure themselves on revenue per footprint. And this more modular design fits very well for that kind of metric to increase revenue or productive floor space.
That modular design and the compact design, I mean, that also has a big impact on the installation time, which is critical for so many companies that, where it can cause some disruption to their business. What kind of installation times are you expecting?
Yeah, well, we have two pilots that we've run, and for both of those pilots, and we picked pilots for two different parts of the spectrum. One who's an existing HP customer, O'Neill Digital Solutions, and they have 13 of our presses. They're very familiar with using our machines, and we installed the machine, and so for week one was the install, and then in week two they were running production, and that was an example from an existing customer. We also installed the machine at a customer who is brand new to HP, so they had not run any HP PageWide web presses before, and that's SG360, and it's a similar story there in that the press installed in a week, and the customer was running production in their second week.
One of the competitive advantages that I see for PageWide Industrial is that there's so much vertical integration, both in the press and the consumables. The new Advantage 2200, it uses your HP Brilliant inks. It incorporates your HDNA print heads. It's compatible with your HP Color Pro media options and several other HP technological innovations. Why do you think it's important to incorporate so many of your own components and technologies in your inkjet web presses?
Yeah, thanks, Mark, for the question. When we think about the market, what is needed is we really want to provide options to our customers. And with HP having the different parts of the printing system technology in-house, that allows our engineers to talk with the different folks who are needed to get answers on different parts of the print system, or our scientists and chemists. We all talk with each other to solve these problems where they need to be solved, but in doing so, providing capabilities and providing options for our customers. So maybe some people don't know what the Brilliant inks are, so let me describe those for a moment. That these are inks that provide a wide color gamut. They have rich reds and spectacular blues. They are designed to print on a variety of uncoated and coated offset papers, and they do so with a way that matches the gloss level of that paper. So we can print on the silks, the mattes, the gloss papers, and even inkjet optimized and color pro papers. And we're doing this to create options. So for example, the optimizer, that's really a secret sauce for our customers. That optimizer, it's digitally printed, it's selectively printed where it's needed, and you can use the amount of optimizer that's needed for the job you want to run. And we have a number of customers who, like everyone, it's hard to find paper today, that they may have a house stock, things are dialed in for that, and then they say, oh, I can't get that paper anymore, and now we want to get a different paper. and because that's what I'm able to get and need to run the job. So, and that's fine. What we offer then is the optimizer, and they can adjust that level and run that new paper on their machine and get the job out. And so really our customers need these kinds of options. We also recognize that that there's additional benefits for an inkjet coated stock. And HP is working with the largest mills in the world to create papers that work well with those brilliant inks and with HP's PageWide machines. And those will give the highest quality and the lowest running costs for a variety of work. And it's really creating options for customers. Definitely print on the offset coated stocks, but also an option for printing on ColorPro papers. And there's more and more ColorPro papers available today for customers to choose from. So it gives a lot of opportunities for customers to say yes to more work.
So Mark, you ask a really great question about you see consistency on why do we leverage the similar print heads, the similar ink technology, the similar paper technology across our T200 platform, and you'll see some of that in obviously our T400 platform and now in the Advantage 2200. And the reason is that gives us scale. It gives us deep experience across that technology. First off, it's superior technology, and it gives us scale, which gives us the ability to do a couple things for our customers. One is to continue to deliver quality products for our legacy or our initial platforms. As I mentioned, our first presses are still in operation out in the field. So that's how we make our products, our platforms evergreen. We also get the economies of scale in terms of more production, means we can pass cost savings on to our customers. Also, the technology is just fantastic. The innovation from our original TIG4 heads to the HD heads, and then the software, the services, the digital front ends, all of this is scalable across our whole platforms. The inks, brilliant. I mean, they're called brilliant because they give an amazing print quality. Also, with the ColorPro papers, the ColorPro papers married together with our brilliant inks are creating an amazing offset quality compatibility for our customers to, again, go after more jobs and expand their book of business and fill their job baskets. So there's a very deliberate reason. I'm glad you identified that we're deliberately leveraging our technology across our platforms. And then with the leap from the T200 platform to this new Advantage platform, really opened up that flexibility. So advantages of all the core technology, but open up the modularity so that we can offer our customers more application space, all still based on that core thermal inkjet technology, which we've, over the years, Mark, I think it's way over $2 billion that HP has invested in our IP and our portfolio around thermal inkjet. So it's very exciting that the team has continued to find innovation to continue to help deliver the tools that our customers need to print the jobs for their customers.
Well, and that leads me, I guess, to the next question is, can HP customers order the presses for delivery now?
At Printing United, we will be accepting orders, and we will be starting to fulfill in the first half of 23. So come on down and meet us, because it will be first come, first serve. And if the indications are what we've received so far, we're going to be a very popular area at the Printing United show this year.
Well, you mentioned, Printing United Expo, which is going to be October 19th to 21st in Las Vegas. You're actually going to have the press running live on the floor. I mean, that's pretty exciting.
We are. We don't want to be like some others who just bring PowerPoint presentations and a stale booth, but we're going to put our money where our mouth is, because we are so proud of this product, and we want to be able to show it to as many people of interest as possible. So come on down, meet us, talk with our experts about how this press might fit in your needs, and see it for yourself.
And I think that it's also a testament to the quick installation time to be able to set up an inkjet web press for a trade show and to be running it live there.
I can tell you that there's a lot of people that are worried about it, but what they're doing is doing what we do for customers and systematically planning every single step that has to be done, And with all the logistics challenges that the world is facing right now, that's the hope part, to make sure everything comes in flawlessly through our logistics channels and get it all set up, and then equally take it down really fast and move it on because customer already wants it. So this will be a fun show for the team, and we're just really excited to be able to meet you and all the customers that are expressing interest.
Right. One thing that's always struck me about HP is you've really always been an industry leader when it comes to sustainability. How does this new Advantage platform address those concerns and initiatives?
Yeah, Mark, thanks for recognizing HP, in addition to wanting to lead the industry in the technology, is also leading the industry in sustainability. And so at a high level, we see our mission in PageWide Industrial as one to reduce the waste that's in high volume production. So our customers are using equipment to just print what is needed rather than print what's needed, then a little bit more, and then have inventory that may get thrown away. For the Advantage 2200, we certainly were thinking about energy usage and had that in mind. And so this press is very efficient for, say, energy per printed page. So that helps the environment. We also design our presses for upgradability, and this press isn't an exception with that. And so with that, our customers get that latest capability and so it keeps that hardware in use. And the other thing around our solutions is that our ink comes in 55-gallon drums, and that these drums, they're recyclable, and we don't have a lot of packaging around them, right? We also don't have ink waste tanks in our press, and so there isn't ink that's going to a landfill or hazardous waste. And we have many locations for what we call the HP Planet Partners, and that program makes it easier for our customers to return and to recycle the print heads from the machine. So really a lot of innovation overall for HP and for this press to support sustainability.
So, one of the things that I've always seen is the value proposition for HP PageWide is the upgradability of your existing machines. How's that going to apply with the Advantage 2200?
I'll take it first, Mark, and say fundamental design concepts of our engineering, as we've demonstrated, is to innovate products that are going to last for a very long time and be upgradable. So just as a core design principle, it's designed for upgradability to probably features that we don't know today, because our customers continue to give us amazing insights on how we can help to improve to accomplish what they need to accomplish. So with that, I'll let Yale answer in more specifics.
All right, thanks, Annette. This press, it's a new press in our portfolio, and it follows the same design principles as the rest of the presses in our portfolio, in that it is upgradable to the next set of things that we develop. And along those lines, also I wanted to say that we continue to offer upgradability and work on upgradable options for our existing portfolio. So while we brought a new press to market, we continue to provide options and upgrades for our existing products.
So, Yale, I know that the press runs at different speeds, and it's obviously very highly productive. What are those different speeds? And I think it's based on quality and performance modes.
Yes, Mark, let me walk you through the different performance capabilities of the press. And so I'll start with the quality mode. And this is the mode where it offers the highest quality capability of the machine. And that's printing at 333 feet per minute or 101 meters per minute on this press. That's 33% faster than that same mode on the T250. At the same time, this press has a performance mode for all four colors, and that mode runs at up to 500 feet per minute or 152 meters per minute on the press. And on that mode, you get all the colors at that fastest speed the press is capable of. At the same time, there is a third mode, which we call Performance HDK mode. And that's really an exciting mode for our customers because they get to print with a higher quality than the performance mode, yet with the speed of performance mode. Also, in that mode, the black print heads has the big drops and little drops that it's using, and that allows for gray component replacement, so a little bit lower costs for running without sacrificing the grain like you might see with only using larger drops of black. There's another mode on this machine, which is performance mode, and that's 800 feet per minute, 244 meters per minute. That speed is 60% faster than the top speed of a T200 press. And in that mode, it really prints with crisp text, and it's really good for mono books or even envelope mail. There's still a lot of mono work that's out there.
Well, Annette and Yale, thank you again for joining me today. And it's a really exciting time for HP PageWide and really an exciting time for our industry. And I can't wait to see the press running live at the Printing United Expo.
Well, thank you, Mark, for having us.
It's been a delight. Thank you, Mark.
We'll include a few links for those who want to learn more about the new HP PageWide Advantage 2200 Inkjet web press platform. And I want to thank Annette and Yale for joining me on this episode, and especially thank all of you, our listeners. Stay tuned for the next episode of Impressions Xchange.